It's the entrance, Mingo Wingo Valley, 4 a.m. p.m. Interesting. This is the whole thing, huh? Okay, right on. Oh, cool. Tools of the trade. Kind of want to rap a little bit about Tulsa Police Department, Valley, Mingo Wingo Division. So this says Mingo Wingo Division Command Staff. That's who these guys are. These are the commanders of this place, I guess. Not really sure. You guys do me a favor, double tap on the screen. Double tap, double tap, double tap on the screen real quick. See what we got going on. Oh, cool. Afternoon, officer. How you doing? Oh, pretty good, pretty good.
What?
Just pretty good. How you doing? Just saying hello. And just being cordial to another human being. How you doing, sir?
How are you?
Good, good, good. Gotta hit the head. I guess, so this is the telephone report specialist. What's going on out there, everybody? Everybody tap on the screen here. Make sure that we get some, so this is that. Hey, how you doing? Well, I just want to get a little information, make sure, I just want to make sure I'm going everywhere that you guys, there's no restricted areas or anything. This is the First Amendment audit.
I'm not sure if it's labeled or not. I don't have any problem with you being in the public area.
Yeah, yeah. Is there, because I saw there was a fenced area back there where the cars were and stuff. Is that a secured area for the car? Okay, so we don't go in there. And then is there any other area that I can audit besides just this little lobby right here?
The only public space.
This is the only public space? Yeah. Yeah, I'm from California. I just came out here for a friend of mine to go through his little court proceedings with him and stuff. And while I'm out here, I'm gonna film some police departments and maybe film some traffic stops. You can let your officers know that there's a First Amendment auditor in town, and I'm gonna be filming them, you know, in their official capacity.
We're used to it.
Are you used to it?
Yeah.
So do you guys have training on First Amendment auditors?
Sure.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So you guys go through video and people held seminars and you guys.
I mean, I can't really get into all of our.
I know you can't get into specifics. I'm a First Amendment auditor.
I can tell you that we do training over it, yes.
Yeah, because like for me, it helps me if you guys know that I'm here filming you, and I'm not carrying weapons to kill anybody or anything, you know. But we hear police officers sometimes will say, "I didn't know if you were going to pull out a gun and shoot me," and I'm like, with filming with my mama watching, like you think I'm gonna, you know, I've never heard of that before, but I have heard, you know, 20 or 30 cops in my lifetime say that, you know, hey, I didn't know if you're gonna pull out a gun or a knife. And I think to myself, cameras rolling, there's right now a couple hundred people watching, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. So when you go through that training with your other officers, you know, you met one of the most prolific First Amendment auditors in the country. Like, this is like, I'm one of the top guys in this space. And so it's like, what I want to convey to you is to teach the other officers that no First Amendment auditor, I mean, of course there are anomalies, there are shark attacks, lightning strikes, stuff like that. But 99.99% of anybody who's holding a camera out and filming you is not there to shoot you. They are not there to stab you or shoot you or attack you. And then the other one that's a misnomer is, I want to get arrested. I don't want to get arrested. Like, I'm sitting here explaining to you, I'm in town, I'm going to be filming cops. You know, like, I do not want to get arrested. But the police, because they'll think, oh, you want to have this, you know, this confrontation. I really don't. Like, see how calm and cool you are? Yeah. This is boring as F for my subscribers. Right. They're bored. They're like, there's nothing going on here, right? It only becomes heated when you come up to me and say, hey, what are you doing in here? And I say, this is a First Amendment audit. You say, well, you're not supposed to be recording in here without permission. And I'm like, bro, there's going to be, you know, 100,000 people are going to watch this. And, you know, it's like, it's almost like you and I kind of have to work together. Sure. It creates a very...
Is she with you or?
No, did you need to get in here?
Yeah.
why don't you jump in? I'm just doing a First Amendment audit. I'm not going to film you. I don't film anybody who comes in as far. I just don't do that. There's a young girl in here. She's going to file something, so I didn't want to. What's going on, Mr. Hickman?
Pretty good, you?
Were you the super friendly guy I just talked to a second ago? Yeah.
Why not be friendly?
Huh?
I said, why not be friendly?
Yeah, you're super friendly, man. Shoot, I'm too. I'm just kind of getting a little information about Tulsa here and how it runs. How long you been here at Copper in Tulsa?
28, or started my 28th year, but 27 and a half.
28?
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm a First Amendment auditor. This is a First Amendment audit. Like, what do you guys get trained in? Like, do you understand what I'm doing? And
yeah.
You
got your freedoms.
Yeah.
And we don't try to encroach on those.
Right.
And sometimes it takes a little bit of experience and a lot of times a little bit of training. But we also, as a bigger city, we deal with a lot of people that want to have the rights and want to exercise them, and we understand that.
Right.
The only time we ever have to try to step in is when it gets to the point that somebody's tearing up something or hurting somebody else. Other than that, we kind of let them do their thing because that's their right.
Have you seen any First Amendment auditors destroy property or anything like that? Yeah. Because what I hear a lot from cops is...
I've seen several of you guys, but I have never met you until now.
Oh, so is this your first official First Amendment audit?
A few times,
Hickman, are we breaking your cherry right here? Is this your first official First Amendment audit where an auditor walks up to you?
I've seen them, but
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Man, you're people just like we are.
Wow, yeah. Well, look, when I first started a few years ago, I was a real prick to cops because how much I've been mistreated, and now I actually understand that we have to work together. Yeah. I can be mad at being wrongfully arrested, mad at being put in torture cuffs. I can be mad about, and I was mad, right? But now I'm at a point in my career where I realize I have to bridge. Even though a lot of people, most of my followers will say, you guys are dirty pigs and you're not going to get anywhere with these guys, right? And I film the bad pigs, and because there's good police. Yes, there's good police officers. Hopefully there's more good than bad.
Well, I can just tell you, if we have bad police officers, we don't want them.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Because it makes us look bad and we lose our credibility.
See, and this is what I talk to police officers about. I don't think you signed up, Mr. Hickman, to be a cop for 27 years, and you're like, I want to just mow people down. No. It's the you want to help people. Yeah. So I hear that a lot. How many people have you helped? Lots. You got a list of people that you've.
No, I never keep a track, but every day you go out and I try to give a little bit more than what I have to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Went to auto theft today and told them how to prevent the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And gave them a little bit of expertise because I've been in auto theft and whether they take my advice, I try to help them so that it don't happen to them again. After
27 years, what's your ranking in this department?
Just a patrol officer.
Just a patrol officer? Never won. That's kind of crazy.
You get enough time on, you don't really want to leave because you got
the pension.
No, you get your what we call bid board. Every year we go and we bid where we want to be, and after you get so many years on, you're up the ladder, so you get better days off and here and not that. So
right.
When you become supervisor, you go down the bottom of the chain again, so you have to walk your way up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So at 28 years, it wouldn't be beneficial only in money, and
right.
I don't want to be a supervisor just for money.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, right. The big gap between citizens and police, and maybe you can attest to this as well, is the handcuffs. Because we're in 2025 now.
Right.
There's cameras on me right now. Like, I'm surrounded by cameras. There's a camera on you. You could have a camera on you right now facing me.
Right.
It's when do we get to the point where we stop using chains and give people? So let's say for myself, I'm a good person, but say I back into a car and drive away, right? I didn't realize I had dented the side of the car, but I did, right? And then you come over and you're like, okay, this is an arrestable offense, right? You have the discretion not to arrest me and give me a ticket, first of all. Right. But let's say you are going to arrest me because I did a hit and run. And I did it. I'm guilty. I backed in this car.
Next time we ticket it, that depends on the situation.
And then a lot of times they take people to jail. And then if you got a body cam on right here, Mr. Hickman.
Nope, because I went to use the restroom and I left my desk in there.
But I'm saying if you did.
I should have, and I probably need to go get it.
Fire Hickman. I'm just kidding.
I didn't mean to be stopped, but if I get stopped, I want to talk to people.
Yeah.
So I want to just blow you off.
When do we use the camera as a form of detainment, where you look at me and you say, hey, I got to pat you down for weapons. I'm not going to chain you up. but you got to come with me because you did an arrestable offense.
Policy, if we put you in our police car and you're under arrest, you've got to be handcuffed.
So there it is. You said it's my policy that if you put me under, I have to go in chains.
Yeah,
and that
chains, just handcuffs.
Handcuffs or chains?
Handcuffs.
No, but they're chains.
Well, ours are not chained.
Are they hinges? Oh, so that's even worse. So your wrist can't oscillate.
Well, that's just what we're issued.
Right.
And,
So hold on, stop, Mr. Hickman.
Both of them as a police officer elsewhere.
Yeah.
And it's just how you're trained with whatever.
So, Mr. Hickman, this is the reason why so many people hate police, and my channel is full of cop haters. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? You are an intelligent man. You're a little bit older than I am by just were you 50? 50. Yeah, you're 5 years older than me. So that's the thing. You said I'm just issued these hinge metal cuffs, and that's just what I got. But you are smart enough to go, wait a minute, I just talked to a First Amendment auditor, millions of people watch his videos. Why can't we change these to straps and we don't put them behind your back? Why can't we make changes?
It's not my call.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but you're doing the job.
Right.
That you're in charge. Mr. Hickman, if you tell me right now you're going to arrest me,
because you have to get new ones every time.
but cloth are cheaper, and you could strap them in the front.
But it's, I don't know. We get policies from up
Policy,
above,
yeah.
and they flow down to us, and that's what we follow. You know, if somebody come up with that idea and thought it was good that we use cloth or whatever
Straps. Yeah.
Then there may be a reason they don't. I don't know.
Why can't you introduce that idea?
Because I never even looked into it. I have to look into it and go, hey, that might be a good idea. But if I don't think it's a good idea, I wouldn't.
How many times when you put someone in handcuffs do they say, ow, these are hurting me?
Oh,
Most of the time, right?
We get them put on our...
And they hurt, and they hurt, and they're painful.
And I try to loosen them up as much as possible.
But it doesn't matter. You got you have
uncomfortable. They're not made to be comfortable.
Okay, so Mr. Hickman, there's another one. You're nailing it. You're nailing that it's your policy to do what you do. Mr. Hickman isn't a horrible human being. Mr. Hickman's following a policy at a job he's had for 2 decades plus. So you're following a policy. The policy to put me in cuffs is what makes me hate you.
Right.
Because I mean, like, look at us, a couple dudes here shooting the breeze, fist bumping, you know, getting ready to celebrate the 4th of July. You know what I mean? But as soon as you agree to the policy to chain me, to put me in metal behind my back, or look at my shoulders, bro. You put me behind my every minute you
Well,
put.
I'm the same way.
Look at that, bro. We put those behind your back. You're going to be in so much pain.
And if we can, we try to put 2 on.
Right. Yeah, but
not to do that.
right.
And back in the day, there were ones that were called Peerless. They're made by Peerless, and I can't find them. I haven't looked. And they're for bigger wrists and different.
Right.
So there used to be, and still are, people still carry them that you can put on. And sometimes we try to do that if we have those.
It's getting worse. Now you're going to a non-oscillating. When there's a chain, your wrist can oscillate. If it's a hinge, your wrist can't oscillate, and then the metal digs into your wrists even deeper. And then after 15 minutes, we start off where we get along just fine. We're talking about the barbecue tomorrow, and now by the time I get out of these cuffs, I hate that mofo. What's his car number? I want to egg his house. You know, like, I hate you. And this is the reason why I hated cops. At 17 years old, they put me in cuffs so tight, my hands turned blue. I was going to...
We have ways to do that. We check them. They need to be a finger in there. If you tell me they're tight, I go stick my finger in there just like I'm taught from the academy. I don't know if they still do, but when I was going through there.
Right.
And that usually gives you enough room to move your hands a little bit. But that is something that you need to tell me, and I'll check it. And then we try to double lock them where they don't lock. It's
so funny, Mr. Hickman, because you're hitting every metric that I talk about day in and day out. We can get a finger in there is a false narrative because I got him against the wall. Call for backup. Get some backup in here. Got a guy with the camera. I'm evil. I was going to take him down until you got here, or I was going to try to anyway. I was going to give it my college try until you showed up. But now that you're here, shoot. I've been working out, bro, trying to get big here. Take care.
I'm not trying to be rude.
No, Mr. Hickman, I know. Listen, and I appreciate your time. Thank you. This is your first Amendment audit.
Yeah.
This is the first time you've been. Listen, so a couple things. Number one, they're not supposed to be comfortable. That's something you learned when you were 20, and it's not correct.
Not necessarily not supposed to be. They're just not.
They're not comfortable. They're metal. They hurt. They're so painful. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Hickman.
Yep.
I appreciate your time, sir.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal?
Somebody can talk.
Yeah.
As long as you agree to disagree, you agree with, I agree with that's the way we do things, and you disagree. And
I want to change the policy, procedure, and I'm not going to do that calling you a dirty effing pig to your face. I'll get a lot further if I build a bridge with you, and then
you learn further on in this department that you get more flies with honey. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you try to talk to people differently as you get older, and a part of that's just being older.
Yes.
You learn to communicate a little bit better. When you're young, you think you own the world, and and that don't matter being a cop that's out here, but as you get older, you learn to talk.
Yeah. Well, I want to change your policies and your procedures. That's what I want to do. I want to change it where we use a camera to detain somebody and we pat them down for weapons. And if you're going to act like a nutball, judge is going to see it. You're going to go running off down the street. We're not going to chase you. Right. We're going to get you. It's a camera world now. You ain't getting away.
Oh, you're right. There's cameras everywhere.
You ain't getting away. Right now, Mr. Hickman, if I shoved you and ran off, I might get down the street. You're going to get me by tomorrow or the next day.
Well, somebody will.
Somebody's going to get me. So the
cameras go.
Dude.
Well, we know who that is. Whatever your name is. I'm sorry.
I'm Chille.
Chille. Okay.
Pleasure, Mr. Hickman.
Somebody would know who you are.
No, listen, I still cover dirty effing pigs. I still cover them, and I still call them dirty effing pigs. But I was in jail last year for 4 months for filming a cop. It was overturned on appeal, conviction overturned. I'm suing the judge. I'm suing it was such a kangaroo court. But I learned something valuable by that process, that my language can affect everything. My demeanor can affect. Yes. Right, or I'm going to blow your effing head off.
And you go, well, that ain't right. I'll just ask you a question. You got to let people ask questions. You got to try to answer them. And sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can't answer because you don't know, or you don't have time because there's a call holding. You know what I'm trying to say, but
yeah,
you do try. At least I tried to, and most officers I know that I work around, we're older, so we tried to go a little further. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Hickman, you're one of the senior officers. You've been around for 28 years. I would love if you said, hey, look, I met this guy, First Amendment auditor. You're going to be on my channel right now. There's 1,000 people watching, right? I'd like the conversation to start about how do we change out of metal? How do we go to a new system? And you haven't even thought about it.
I haven't.
Right, and but you've heard every day, day in and day out, these are hurting me. Right. But you haven't thought about, you learned these are not supposed to be comfortable when you were 20, and now you still repeat that line at 55. And that's what I'm trying to say.
I understand it.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not trying to beat you up.
Right.
I'm just saying that line of they're not meant to be comfortable is fucking evil, because if I'm being detained on suspicion because there's an alarm going off here, but I didn't rob the store, after 20 minutes of being in those cuffs, I hate you because I didn't rob the store. I understand you have to stop me and detain me to talk to me, but I didn't rob the store, and now the cuffs hurt me, and now I hate cops.
I can see your point.
Do you see what I'm saying? And that detainment thing should not equal where you get to torture me for 20 or 30 minutes and then let me go. Right. You know, because I don't want to tell you where I'm going. Where are you going to? Well, it's none of your business, officer. Okay, you're being detained. Put your hands behind your back. And now by the time that detainment ends, I think Hickman's a terrible whatever. And now I go to my best friend and I say that Hickman's a piece of garbage. He goes to his mom. He goes to his sister. And this is the gap that's being created more and more every day.
I understand, and it depends on the officer, too. You know what I mean?
Well, the policy procedure is the same everywhere, isn't it?
Well, here it is.
Right.
I can't tell you what it is in Omogi or Sepulpa, you know.
Right, Muskogee.
And it's just the way it is as far as policy and procedure. They're different each where you go, you know, even.
That's the problem people have with cops, is it's the way it is. And instead of you saying, wait a minute, I talked to a dude. He was like, why don't we strap you in the front and give you a chance to be a regular human being before we force your shoulders to be contorted and chain you? Why don't you give people a chance through basic detainment with a basic, it could be like a string you wrap around their wrist and say, you're now officially detained and you're on camera. If the judge sees you run away, you're effed. And you know what? Most good people, oh, you got a string around my wrist right here. I don't want to go to jail. So it's like, I want you to start to think. I don't want you to just say, well, that's the way it is. That's our policy. I want you to be like, no, I don't agree with that effing policy. I talked to this First Amendment auditor. I've changed, dude. I have changed. I have changed. My audience doesn't even like it. They don't like it. I used to walk up and destroy you guys, right? Because I'm a constitutional law scholar. So when we start talking about the law, I know it inside and out. My audience doesn't like that I'm nice to cops. They don't like it, right? I'm losing part of my audience because I'm nice to you guys. But what I'm saying is it requires that we meet in the middle. And the first step would be that you say, you know what? Why isn't there another way? Why with the camera?
Not really.
Well, I appreciate that.
I just haven't. You know, there's people on our department that specify in defensive tactics, and that kind of goes with the cuffing and whatever, and they do all the testing and all that. And I'm not putting it all on them, but they're the experts.
Right, and it's for officer safety. But the thing is that a third of our cops are ex-military, and when you go over to Fallujah or over to Iraq, what you learn is that these guys will shoot you. You shoot them in the leg, and they'll be pulling out a grenade as you're trying to detain them. But that's not us. That's not the citizens of Tulsa.
Well, no, we're not military.
But a third of you are.
Right, but we're not. This is not a military group, and we don't carry bombs with us.
Right, but a third of the cops in your industry, though, believe that they should take every possible restraint for officer safety, and that creates this gigantic gap where there's cop haters out there. And listen, man, I still don't like most cops. I'm not going to try to pretend like I'm not going to be fake with you, dude. But I'm just saying, the policy procedure, because look, Hickman, you seem like a nice guy. I don't know if you put knees in people's chests or not, but you seem like a nice
man. I try to treat you how I can treat you.
Yeah.
If I can treat you good, I want to treat you good.
Yeah.
If I can't, I try to treat you as good as I can. It's just one of those things you're not allowing me to, because
Right.
I don't let personal feelings get in my way. That's where you get in trouble. I try to, man, like right here, you and I are talking.
Like two guys.
Yeah. And it is what it is. I can give you the time of day. There's no problem with that.
Right.
That's kind of my job, to give you the time of day.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
well, you're one of the few. Not a lot of cops will engage in dialogue. And listen, I know I did it wrong before. I was a searing prick. I know I was wrong in some situations. In some situations, those cops deserved it.
Well, if you come out here yelling at me, I just got in my car and left.
Yeah, I'm not going to yell at you.
I know, but I mean, that's...
You haven't done anything. Yeah.
Badgering back and forth if you're not going to talk, but we can talk. We can talk all day long. But,
I'm listening to you.
Right.
I'm hearing what you're saying.
I'm listening to you.
You're telling me it's policy. You're telling me that they're not supposed to be comfortable. You're telling me I can get a finger in there. You're saying these things.
Not supposed to be. They're just
No,
not.
they're just not. God bless you. God bless.
Make one comfortable, I don't think.
You got it. You nailed it. They're not. They're painful. Instead of they're not comfortable, they're painful. If we could just get there, and if you would be, I'm going to email you, DK Hickman. I'm going to find you on the Tulsa roster.
Okay.
Your email address is available publicly?
I assume.
You got a card? I can email you?
I don't have a card on me. I'm sorry.
I'll call over here.
Okay.
My name's Chille. I'm a First Amendment auditor. I'll call and I'll reach out to you. I want to start this dialogue about changing these cuffs.
Okay.
Don't you?
It might be a good idea. I want to look at it. I can't say yes or no until I,
Right.
I also want to be safe, and I want to have people around me safe. So I can't answer your question until I actually look at it.
Dude.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to respect
I don't
authority.
want to lie to you.
Yeah.
I want my integrity.
Yes. No, I do too. That's why I'm telling you. I'm not a super nice guy to cops.
Because we change a lot of things that we don't always agree with, but in time you go, wow, that wasn't such a bad idea. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's things changed all for a long time.
Yeah.
We used to chase cars and chase them to the end. We don't do that no more for certain things because it's safer for you and I or the public, because sometimes property crimes aren't worth, or they're not worth somebody's life.
Yeah, right.
That's changed, but it was hard for a while because somebody's running, we're going to go get them. But as you mature as a department and as a person, you kind of go.
Did you guys move to the grappler instead of the pit maneuver?
We don't have any of that.
You got to get that grappler.
We don't do either.
You don't pit cars
I'm a
here?
driving instructor, and there's a lot of the older guys were taught the pit maneuver.
Right.
So-
We call it the death maneuver online.
Well, and the deal is
It's the death maneuver.
There is good times to use it and not. In certain speeds, it can be detrimental.
Yeah.
And slow speeds, it doesn't work.
Right.
So it's got to be
Right, because it just
between.
skids a little and they keep going.
But the grappler is used by Broken Arrow. I've seen it.
The grappler's really good. I really thumbs up on that,
Yeah, it's
because
pretty cool.
well, you're not spinning a car over, they're not flipping over, you're not killing people. It's just if someone's driving like a maniac, 99.99% of us want that guy stopped.
Right.
We don't want that. Just like drunk driving. 99.9% of us don't want drunk driving. It's just the methods we go to try to solve it.
Right.
But Mr. Hickman, you now have the seed in your head planted. Why can't we move to digital detainment? Pat someone down and say, look, I'm not going to be grabbing you. I patted you down. You don't have any weapons. I'm taking you to jail because you did a hit and run. You can do whatever you want. You could jump out of the car and run. But the thing is I got your ID. I know who you are. we're going to charge you with a felony if you do it, and then give people an opportunity. Is it going to be more dangerous for cops? It will be. It'll be a little bit more dangerous. Would it close the gap gigantically? Dude, if you came up to me and said you're under arrest, you got to come with me, but let me just pat you down for weapons, and after I'm patted down, okay, cool. And then the whole look up your backside when you go to jail thing. You can sequester someone for 24 hours, anything up their backside's coming out. You don't got to look up there.
Well, and I will tell you this, is that everybody will not just come with you, or they'll come with you so far, and then the assault's going to happen.
No, listen, I'm with you. I would say one out of...
When you get in a fight, there's a gun involved every time. Does that make sense to you?
In your head, there's a gun involved every
I
time.
got one on my hip, so there's a gun involved every time.
Oh, so that's the training? Is that if
but
you...
No, but we got to understand, well, I've got to keep control of this gun, and you're a big guy.
Yeah, I got some...
It might be a real fight.
Yeah.
And I don't want my gun going to you if you're wanting to hurt me or somebody else. So that's something you got to understand too, is that it's better for us and even the public too, to a certain extent, to have some type of restraint, because people hurt you with their hands and their feet.
No, listen, I'm not some... I'm not some idiot. I'm not some dying... I'm not... No, I'm not saying you are. I'm not... You know, what I'm saying is I know there's some people, you got to throw them on the ground, chain them. Some people got to be shot because that's how they're going out. And I get that. But I would say 4 out of 5 of us, I would say 80%, barring, of course, meth and heroin. 4 out of 5 of us, if once the cops come around and I'm surrounded by a bunch of cops, I'm just gonna go with you. You know what I mean? You don't got to chain me. How many people do you think wouldn't go at a percentage? If you said you're under arrest for hit and run, you backed in that car, you got to...
I don't know. It just depends on who you come in contact with. Some will not want to go at all. Some go, oh, okay. You know, it just depends on the person and their mental state at the time, and you know, if they're on anything. You know,
would you say more than 50% would go, or you think more than 50% would not go?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. But,
we could test it. You literally test it with people who sign up to be a part of the testing program, and you go to their business. They sign up to be a part of the testing program, and you go to their business, say you're under arrest for hit and run, even though they're not, but they already signed up and signed a waiver, and they don't know what they're signing up for. But then you go there to arrest them, and you say you got to come with us, but we're not going to touch you. Do you want to come? I'm just saying, like, we got to get to a point where, because listen, half of people hate cops.
Right, I understand.
50% walk up to you and say you're an effing pig, and and listen, I've been one of those people.
Right.
So what I'm saying is we got to bridge the gap, and the gap is you putting me in hinged handcuffs. That's the gap. That is the gap.
Right.
If you don't know, you met one of the guys. I've been doing this for years and years. You met me. I told you the gap is the handcuffs, because it's pain. You get to apply pain to me, and if I don't comply to it, then I'm being a prick. And it's like,
and it's not supposed to be painful, but they're not comfortable.
Dude, look how thick I am. If you put every minute my hands are behind my back is a minute I'm in pain after.
As police officers, we try to help you. Like 2, I've seen 3 on people. You know, we try to make sure that we don't get hurt, and that's a lot of it. And we got to take you several miles to, and I don't know what's in your head. I can't read what's in your head.
Well, of course you can't. But what I'm saying is, with all the cameras, give people a chance. Definitely pat them down for weapons if you're going to arrest them, for sure. But then what I'm advocating for, politely, respectfully, is give people a chance to go with you. You know, if they have to go.
I can't tell you how much it'll work, because a lot of people just don't want to go.
Oh no, I don't want to go either.
Your freedom when I take you to jail.
Right.
I don't know.
Get out. Get out.
I just got to go do a report.
Get out, Hickman. Get out. Okay, thanks for your time. So let's talk. Hey, is this the ripple effect?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Ripple effect media, right on. Listen, I got about 1,500 people on here. Let me talk to you. So we're in front of the Tulsa Police Department. Yesterday, this is Brad Conley, also known as Ripple Effect Media. He had a court date yesterday. He got charged with obstruction for filming a cop when he was on a public sidewalk. He was convicted of that obstruction charge. And, you know, Brad, I'll let you say anything you want to say to people.
Well, we tried real hard. Basically, you want to see what's up?
No, go ahead. Just go ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Don't look at the comments. It'll mess you up.
Okay.
Focus on the lens.
Yeah. So, we went in. You know, it's really a lot of hard work to be a lawyer. You should a lot of times you should be let a lawyer be a lawyer, because they know so many tricks, and they've been doing this 30,000 times. You know, over the course of each year, and then all the years of schooling that I did. Just to say that. Let's just say that, there we go. Sorry, guys. that I had my ass handed to me a couple times, and not that I was wrong, I just didn't know when to object, when they were putting in stuff. They just, you know, when I was asking questions, they would object every time. It just got to be a real nuisance. But you know, they got up on the stand, and everything they said was inaccurate. So
let me tell you something. So,
Yeah,
so,
he can
so,
explain it
well,
better.
no,
He
I
was
was
there.
in the courtroom yesterday. So, what I would recommend to you, if you have a minor charge of obstruction or resisting, is look. As much as we don't necessarily like lawyers, if Brad had had a lawyer yesterday, he would have won the case because he was in the right. He was correct. He did not obstruct the officer. It was plain as day that everything he was doing was perfectly legitimate. But the problem is once you get into court, unless, and like Brad was kind of touching on it, unless you have done the repetitions where you've done this through court 1,000 times previously, the DA that he took on was in his prime and sharp, and everything Brad said, if he could object to it to being argumentative or hearsay or testimony, he was able to shut Brad's questioning down. And if I could do it again, I would have fronted him the money for an attorney. But I in my head, I'm one of these people that is super high functioning, but at the same time, I still don't have the reps that DA had. And that DA, he was sharp, wasn't he?
he was very sharp. The judge
That
was sharp. They
that
were
DA
all-
was sharp.
Yeah,
He was
He was
super
a- he
duper
did a
sharp.
good- he did a good job. I hold nothing against him except that, you know, he prosecuted the case in the first place. But
Right, because
Yeah.
I'll show the video later when I'm set up on StreamYard and I can actually show you guys the video. But you guys do me a favor, double tap on the screen, that hits the like button for me, and hit the subscribe button. Double tap on the screen for me real quick and hit the subscribe button. Just real quick, double tap on the screen, that hits the like. If you got a thumbs up on your computer, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna be leaving Tulsa here pretty quick. I'm flying back to Cali. But I wanted to spend a little bit of time on Brad's case while we have an audience and talk a little bit about, to you guys, the importance of making sure that you have an attorney for minor criminal charges. Remember, last year in 2024, I had a minor criminal charge of obstructing. I called the bailiff a pig, which I should not have done, and the judge put me in jail for 6 months. She shouldn't have put me in jail. I'm suing the judge and the prosecutor for what they did. But my language and my demeanor and the way that I behaved in court put me in jail. Now, was it wrongful? Yes, it was still wrongful. But do I take responsibility for my mistakes? I do. I take responsibility for, and I don't want you, people who watch me and believe in me, I don't want you to do the same mistakes that I did. I don't want you to make the same mistakes that Brad made.
Right,
If
yeah.
you have a minor obstruction charge or resisting or a charge, you got to get an attorney to help you, because we sat there and broke down the law for Brad's case for 2 or 3 days before the trial. But then when we got in there to actually do the sword fighting, the other guy was better, right?
Yeah, he was way better.
The other guy was better. He was better because he had done it thousands of times. And this is what, first, second,
First
third?
time I've
right,
done that.
first time.
Yeah,
So
I learned a lot. We learned a lot.
we learned, and I learned about the proper questions to ask, and I learned so many things. But I want to convey to my audience and to my supporters, Team DLZ, put Team DLZ in the chat. If you remember Team DLZ, put it in the chat. I want to convey to my audience, you got to make sure you have an attorney for these small little crimes, or infractions or charges, because if you don't, that DA is going to whip your ass. And then he got $750 fine. Thankfully, all he got was a $750 fine. That was it. No jail time, no probation, no nothing.
And I want to be clear, we don't stop. I'm going to appeal. And most times, if you win a case like this, you win it in appeal. So there's hope.
Right. He's going to appeal the case. I just, look, no one likes losing. I just want to say to my friends and my family out there, if you have a tiny case and you got to get the money for the attorney, get it. Because he had the case won as far as the exact perspective, but the problem was the guy you're taking on, the DA, he's done this a lot more than you have, a lot more than I have. So you have to get someone who's been in battle thousands and thousands of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good attorney would have wiped them clean. I have one too. I just thought it'd be great to.
It was so
do
cut and
it
dry.
and win it myself.
But it was so cut and dry, right?
It's so. I mean, when you guys see the video after he breaks it down, because we spent 20 hours on the videos.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel. You'll understand what we're talking about. It's
Right.
just crazy, and every video is packed full of
Yeah, constitutional. Let me walk in here real quick.
Yeah.
All right, let me jump in here real quick with you guys. And look, the plain simple fact is that if we're going to make any legitimate change in policing and policy and procedure, I'm not going to be able to make that change if I come in here and I call these guys dirty fucking pigs. And we watch videos where they are dirty fucking pigs, and I say, that's a dirty fucking pig right there. But if I want to actually make the changes of getting rid of the torture cuffs and making change within these police departments, then I have to create some sort of bridge between, and hope and pray that there's some good cops who see it the way that we do. That, I mean, like take a look at the mural here. Tools of the trade. Tools of the trade, what do they have here? Torture cuffs. Look, tools of the trade are torture cuffs. They believe that these are the tools of the trade. They think that this is a tool of their trade. Do you see what I'm saying? So like, do you guys see it? How you guys doing? I'm just still doing my First Amendment audit. I hope you guys are all right. But see, like, this is the gap between us. On the mural over here, it says tools of the trade, and there's a great big mural of handcuffs. But the handcuffs are what made me originally hate cops and be really rude and mean and a dick to you guys, right? When you guys may not be mean and rude to me. But I was mean and rude to you after I'd been put in cuffs. But you have it on your mural as tools for the trade. What I advocate is to change handcuffs to straps, so it's not painful. So you could cuff people in the front, because you guys, all four of you guys could probably get my two arms behind my back. I don't think three of you could, because this is my most powerful position here. This is not. Getting my hands like this, two of you, maybe one of you could get my hands crossed in front of my body. But it'll take all four of you to force me to get my arms behind my back. Along the way, you're gonna knee me, you're gonna kick me, I'm gonna get tasered. Whereas if you just put my hands in front of me and strapped them, I can't stop. You two guys right there could get my hands like this, no problem. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be mean and rude to you guys. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a jerk to you. I have been. I've been a dick, dude. I've been a dick, and a lot of the cops are dicks. So we both got dicks on both sides. But what I'm saying is you have it here as tools of the trade, and that's the biggest gap between us. Where millions of people watch me. It's Delete Lawz. You guys are live right now on YouTube, right? Millions of people watch my videos. The gap is the cuffs.
So with your arms like this, that makes it really easy to get your arms around the neck. It's a safety issue.
No, everything's for officer safety because of the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio. Terry versus Ohio put officer safety over all rights. It's a policy from the Supreme Court. So,
not all rights.
Well, I mean,
I understand your side.
Right, you know what I'm saying? But it turns into where officer safety is the paramount procedure on the scene. And so what I'm saying is, and so like, but what do people do if they're afraid of you? They go on their backs and they curl up in a ball. 25 years of UFC has taught us that people just don't belly out and give you the back of their neck. It's just not a natural human reaction. So if you strapped them in the front, even if you had a strap that separated the wrist from the body, we could make great headway. Man, I would love the Tulsa PD to be the first people. I invented a strap. I have it that replaces handcuffs, and it's so much better for the people, and it creates a step-by-step procedure for detainment. So when the first strap goes on, the judge now says, hey, strap went on. That's time for you to settle down and shut up, right? Which is fine.
You have a website or something?
Yeah, DeleteLawz.com. DeleteLawz.com. But
I'm not a decision maker by any stretch.
But that's what all cops tell me. They're not a decision maker. That's what all of them say.
What you're going to run into is when you come to a uniform division like this, I mean, for us, the decision maker is the chief of police.
Right.
As advisors.
Who is the chief here?
Chief Dennis Larson.
Dennis Larson?
Yep.
Is he in today or tomorrow?
I have no idea.
Tomorrow's the 4th, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He won't be working tomorrow.
I don't think so. He's the chief. It's the 4th, bro. He's going to be at a barbecue or you guys are out there slepping. Oh, you're up the chain of command, are you? You made it? Sorry. That was me. I'm sorry.
Doesn't require me to work on holidays.
Right.
Not wear a standard uniform. for just the
Right.
yes junkie, for lack of a better term.
Well, I mean, if we just got to a place where we didn't chain people with the metal, dude, getting cuffed up at 17 changed. I hated cops. Hated. I mean, I still don't like a lot of cops. I'm not going to lie. And a lot of them are PIGS, a lot of them. But then there's some, I was in jail last year for 4 months. I met prison guards who were nice. That means that if they have absolute control over me in prison, there must be at least 1 or 2 cops out there who are good.
I like to think most of us, the problem we run into as an organization or as a career is the bad ones. Everybody sees those videos.
That's who I post. I post the bad ones.
The good interactions never get any sort of traction on social media or the media or anything like that. So
Yeah.
it's disproportionately bad on the viral clicks,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term.
No, you got a couple good ones. You got a guy who pulled someone out of a plane in LA last year. You got a guy who saved a baby that went to the tens of millions of really. And half the people support cops in a big way. Half the people will bring you a cake, back the blue on it, the whole thing. But my mission now, because I'm going back on the street and auditing again, is to talk to each and every one of you and not call you dirty names, not be mean to you, not be rude to you, but explain to you that the gap is the cuffs. That's the gap. That's it right there. If there's an alarm going off across the street and you pull up and I'm walking out of the store and there's an alarm going off, I understand I'm going to be detained. I'm not stupid. We're not living in some fantasy hokey pokey world. Now, how you detain me is how I leave there feeling about you.
Well, we operate under the ask, tell, options, make model.
Yeah, it sounds bad on camera, by the way. First, I'm going to ask you, then I'm going to tell you, then I'm going to make you, which, by the way, those videos, ask, tell, make, so you know, those go super viral. If they repeat what they learned in training, first I'm going to ask you, then I'm going to tell you, then I'm going to make you, right? Let me tell you something. The audience watching that, that doesn't go good, dude.
We have the options in.
Right. You shouldn't say it out loud, though.
Fair enough.
Because that training little thing bodes negatively on camera. The other one is we're past that now. That phrase,
If I can talk somebody into cooperation, we're never past anything.
right.
I've been doing this too long to want to get in fights with somebody 10 years younger than me and 10 times stronger.
I'm the same, dude. I really don't want to fist fight anybody.
If I get a fist fight, I'm going to be hurting for a couple of days.
More than that.
It's not fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I can just talk to somebody like a human being,
So,
respect, and we can just deal with whatever we got to deal with, it's a win-win.
right. So when you pull someone out of their car and you're like, give me your license, and they say, no, I'm not giving it because I don't have to, I didn't break the law, then you put them in cuffs because they do have to give their license, and I teach people, you got to give your license. Then you put them in cuffs, and then they say, okay, I'll give you my license. Then you'll hear the cops say, oh, we're past that now. Now you're going to jail. But he didn't understand the severity of what was happening. And now the punishment for going to jail is horrific. One hour in jail is like a year. It is horrible. It is terrible. So,
I can see that. And like I said, if I can avoid getting in a scuffle in the door jam of a car, hey, look, here's why you need to provide your ID. Here's what I stopped you for. This is a legal stop. Per state law, you have to provide your ID, and I'll go through all of that. It's only if it's still not resonating that we have to.
right. And then after you get me, say it's me, I'm in the car, I gave you the bird, you pulled me over and said it's disorderly conduct. You don't know it's actually a mistake of law. It's not really disorderly conduct, but you're allowed to make a mistake of law. You're allowed to make a mistake. North Carolina versus Heen, 2014 allows you to make a reasonable mistake of law. So if you thought flipping me off was disorderly conduct, then you pull me over and say, give me your license. I say, no. You pull me out, put me in cuffs, and then I say, okay, I'll give you my license. What I would ask you is give him a chance to give the license then. And once he's in cuffs and he realizes, oh, F, I'm going to go to jail.
My whole thing, if I look at your arrest history and it's just a laundry list of everything, less leniency. If you're just a random person and we ended up sideways, once I figure out who you are and you're not a bad guy, never been to jail, I'm not going to start that train.
Right.
We'll just go with here's your ticket, here's how you take care of it, we're on our way, no harm, no foul.
Yeah. Well, if we can just, if we,
If I can leave a traffic stop with education instead of enforcement, that's a win too.
see, you guys are real nice when I audit. You guys are, when I talk to you guys here, you're real nice. Most cops are, when I put the camera on them, I talk to them, and they're not in like go mode. They're real nice. The problem is what I'm saying to you now going to affect you when you pull someone over and they don't give you your ID, pisses you off, you get frustrated, you get them in cuffs, and they're like, okay, I'll give them my ID. Then does the line come out, well, we're past that now.
I've never used that line.
You've never used the line?
That line limits my options.
Yes. Yes, dude. God bless you. Fist bump. God bless you, dude. It's terrible to say. Just like when someone says these cuffs are hurting me and the cop will say, well, they're not supposed to be comfortable. Well, bro, then why are you putting them on me?
Now, if somebody tells me that, I check and make sure they're loosened up. Because sometimes I get them on too tight, and I'll check them. I'll loosen them if I need to.
Yeah.
In some cases, looser hurts worse than tighter.
It hurts all the time. And now you guys are going to these hinge cuffs now, which is even worse. They're more painful. It's getting worse. It's not getting better.
All the training we go through handcuffing each other, I know they're uncomfortable.
Yeah. Let's change it. I know they're uncomfortable too. I know that they hurt. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, listen, I just want to have these conversations with you guys without me effing it up and being the prick I've been. I've been a prick before. Go ahead. You want to jump in here, sir? I'm sorry. I was just shooting the breeze with this joke. So I want to do it different than I had done it, and I want to change these cuffs. I'm going to change it. I built a new prototype to change, and it's easier for you to detain someone from the front, and it's safer because you can get their wrist away from their body. With 2 cops and 2 straps, you can literally get a guy's arms crucified out to the side so that he's not going to reach a gun at his waistline.
I'll take a look at it and I'll bring it to our.
What's your name?
Sorry, what?
What was your name, sir? Skamansky, do you have a card?
I don't.
Just write down your email address for me. I'll shoot you an email over. If that's all right, Mr. Skamansky. Because, listen, people hate the Tulsa Police Department online, and I've seen some bad shit Tulsa Police Department has done. But if we could get a pilot program going with a new form of detainment, sometimes you need a spoonful of sugar to make the medicine go down. But I'd be more than willing to swallow any sort of my pride or ego to try to.
So, I mean, one of the things we've done recently.
Gotcha.
Recently, it's been a few years now. SSCEPANSKI.
Okay, got it. SSCE.
Because death in custody is a
Yeah.
terrifying situation.
Yeah.
Positional asphyxiation, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We've gone to what we call the RAP.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's a trademark. If you just look at the RAP.
The wrap.
Instead of detaining someone in a chest down possible positional asphyxiation, it's basically, I mean, it's still, there's handcuffs involved, but it locks them into a seated position. So they can't kick. We're not using leg irons, which are
They're horrible.
Yes.
I had them on in jail last year, which my conviction was overturned on appeal, and I'm suing that judge for doing that. But we got to get rid of the cuffs, Skamansky.
Yeah,
We got to get rid of the cuffs. I'm going to finish my prototype and I'm going to send it.
it's our defensive tactics unit, the kind of field tests all new, anything we use. And so I'll bring it to them, see.
Defensive tactics, though, is probably half military, ex-military.
I don't know.
Good percentage,
Well, a good percentage of the police department is
ex-military.
military or current.
Wow. That's great. And over in Iraq, you got to make sure the guy's secured. You can never give him an inch of breath. Then they bring that mentality back here that the citizen doesn't get an inch of breath. After you shoot him, you're putting him in cuffs. And that is the big gap again, you know? So anyway, I appreciate it, dude. God bless you, man. Thanks for the talk. I appreciate you. So there it is, folks. There it is. There it is right there. We're going to get rid of these torture cuffs. We're going to get rid of them. I know I'm doing a lot of different things. I get it. But I'm still here, and we don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. Double tap right here. Go by the Delete Lawz store. Pick up a trifold. Pick up a pair of cop cards. That's what I sell on my online store. Team DLZ, I can't see. I had to put my glasses on and stop, and I got to do another stop with the ripple effect here today. So I'll say hello to a couple people, though. Jeff hates pigs. I just saw Jeff hates pigs. There it is. There it is. Oh, is that right? TPD trained to be street cop. Is that right? We don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. I got to get the flock out of here. I love you guys. Thanks for coming. I'll see you on the next one. Later, Gators.